It's the Archivist, y'all. And we in America with the original Mitchy Slick.
Yeah, that.
And who is the original G of Dago, the Wrong Kinds Mayor, Southern California's Mr. Mitchy Slick?
It's a real street cat, homie, that had a passion for making music and speaking to the streets, and that's what I do. I'm just an artist for the street cats. And for the most part, you know, not just the street cats, but the Southern Cali cats. If you listen to my music, man, I really speak directly to like the active cats. Just lived over there, that's cool, but I'm talking about the factors, the hood factors, especially of, you know, the West Coast. I speak the shit that a lot of cats that are still alive or that are not in jail for the rest of their life can't really talk about, you know what I'm saying? I'm fortunate and I feel like God let me be here to do this for a reason. So really when you hear Mitchy Slick, you gotta know this is not just a rapper or my fan base don't come just because I made a cool single back in 2008 or some shit like that. Nah, I got a real following of cats. A lot of cats that fuck with me don't even really trip off nobody else's music because they know with me it's the next level, that shit, homie. You know what I'm saying?
And before it all, grade 3 to 6, the initiation on the 5th grade, that hustle, dad was a DJ, the Killa Apartments, 45th to 49th, Mountain View, share on those years.
From 3 to 6, that's when you know, before that my moms and pops were still together. They was doing real good, you know what I mean? Like for as a young couple, they had already bought their second home, I think. Pops and moms split up like so many other cats, you know what I mean? And from that, you know, the story. Moms and pops split up. Moms go back to her mom's house, and there it begins. So once I moved back to my grandmother's house after my moms and pops split up, that was about 6, 7 years old. I don't know if my mom knew where she was moving us to, but she put us in like one of the most notorious blood neighborhoods in California. And I'm not just saying that because of what I say, but a lot of shit that took place in that neighborhood for sure puts the stamp to make us that for sure in San Diego, but just Southern California as a whole. And it was during those eras that we call, or that all of us call, but like E40 coins it also as the when the world went crazy, you know, during those Iran-Contra scandal years when that flow was flowing, you know, and a lot of shit was crazy. But to be the age that I was during that time was like very crazy for a young cat to be able to witness some of the shit that a young cat today would never be able to. A 9, 10-year-old, 8-year-old kid would never be able to see the shit that a kid that grew up in 87, 88, 89 saw. It's not there. Because nowadays they got so much surveillance and so much police shit now that can prevent people from getting away with the shit that was being gotten away with during those times. I grew up. All that shit you hear the songs about and Cube and Easy was rapping about and all that shit, I was in the middle of all that shit as a little ass kid, homie. And so when I came up, man, it was, all that shit was a part of what I was living, you know what I'm saying? So all the shit that took over the world with the West Coast gangster rap shit and all that, like we was already living that before gangster rap came out. So to hear Easy in them or Toddy T, you know what I'm saying, or Mixmaster Spade and them coming out with those songs, I'm the part of the first generation that got to appreciate the fact that somebody was making West Coast shit that we could really, you know, like the first time we was listening to Big Daddy Kane as little kids and fucking Biz Markie and EPMD, and then came Ice-T, you know what I'm saying, some shit that was for us. I'm part of the generation that I got, that era of mine got to see a lot of shit, you know what I mean? Like I'm from the era where still was young enough at the time to, I mean I'm old enough to be alive during the time when it wasn't a cell phone really, like they wasn't popular to now. That's a big change in the world, just period. Just think what that did for everything, for work, for dope dealers, for all the shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm during the time when rocks came. I saw before rocks as a little kid. I saw what happened to the black community when rocks came out. Crack. That's a different age for a kid. You know what I mean? So them years for me was a straight crash course in life. You know what I mean? So then, you know, I grew up on Logan Ave. Lincoln Park is the neighborhood, to be exact, Southeast San Diego. And I went to Hard Knocks Elementary, and in my city, everybody know about Hard Knocks. You know, we was doing a lot of shit then, and it's crazy because, you know, a lot of times, you know, you hear people say, you can choose your path, or, you know, you can pick whether you didn't have to do that, you made the choice, and all that shit. Where I live, that's not how it went. That's not how it went. And I don't know if motherfuckers really understand what it's like growing up in Southern Cali in them type of neighborhoods for real. Like it's, you know, you don't want to be on the other side of the line. You know what I mean? Everybody's kids are playing this shit, but either you with the boys that's hanging out being bad, or you ain't. And the shit you go through when you're not, and when you 8 or 9 years old, and you trying to, you know, can't tell your mama, Mom, they kicked me in the ass walking to school today. No, that's not how. You can't even go to school tomorrow. So, you know, you trying to tether your way, and you just playing around with the shit as a young cat. You know what I mean? All the kids is wearing this color and shit. You wearing this color, so you don't get kicked in your ass for wearing that color. That's your first stages of the shit. You know what I mean? It ain't. You might not be all the way in at 9 or 10, but then 11 and 12, when the girls and shit start coming in, and she used to mess with him, and he said fuck you. She told you he said fuck you, and you know that's the 12 and 13. That's how it started for me. It was I grew up in a home with a loving ass, square ass mother that didn't know shit about where I came from. So a lot of shit that I was doing, she didn't even recognize it as being affiliated with that type of shit. You know what I mean? But you know.
And Pop Warner football, Logan Avenue, Southeast San Diego, Lincoln Park, the Fish Market, Skyline, Uptown, 59 Brimset, Four Corners. What about Imperial and Euclid?
Yeah, Imperial Euclid, that's all the shit. You did your homework. Imperial Euclid, that's where we from. We call that the dip. I come from the dip. It's kind of how, you know, geographically, it's like hills that come all down into this area. And for years, you know what I'm saying, the elders in my neighborhood use that as ground zero, you know what I mean? It really is Euclid and Logan. Okay. But then Euclid and Imperial is kind of like the center of all those neighborhoods that you named. They call it the Four Corners of Death. A lot of other homies a lot of things happen up there, you know. But yeah, that's where I'm from.
And the spots and the people. Roberto, number 10, Mexican food, Dr. J's, Dr. Terry, Mr. Chin at the Fam Mart,
yeah.
And Ricky the Jeweler.
Right.
Where else it's the wrong kind is cracking.
For sure. Yeah, man, you know, that's Southeast San Diego. Fam Mart, that's a mecca for the music, you know what I mean? That's where it's changed now, you know what I'm saying? Because the police in San Diego always fucking up shit, but for years, man, that was the first place where you introduced your music, and you know, just hip hop in general for the gangster shit starts there. That's where you get your first tape, you put it out, you go to the store, you do your in-store, you can find everybody's music there, and it's a trip because after I put out my first records in like 02 and 3 and shit, the fans from all over the city kind of felt like that was the only place they could buy the records. So you would have cats from all over the suburbs and all over everywhere coming to this one location, as straight as hood as it could possibly be, you know, coming to that place to buy the records and shit. And I probably sold about 20,000 records just out of one store during these times, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's Chin, the Asian cat Chin up there at the record store and shit. Yeah, man. Fam Mart, Roberto's Taco Shop. Actually, in San Diego, it's not a number, this number or that number. It's just Taco Shop, period. That one's good, that one's bad, that one's better. But you know, every neighborhood got their own taco shop they like. So the Skyline boys, they might like this taco shop. We never ate over there because we can't go over there. But ours is like 43rd Street taco shop. You know what I mean? That's just Dago life, man. We learned how to cook tacos before we learned how to cook fried chicken. We 20 minutes from the border. I look out my bedroom, see Mexico. You know what I mean? Real shit.
And you got any turf stories, drug deals, street hustling, money making? Tell us from the north.
All I can say really is if you listen to my music, you could find out all the shit. But I don't really like to get into that too much. But you can listen to the music and just know that I was a staple member of my neighborhood, and there's certain things you got to do to even be considered a real homie. And everybody around me pretty much did all that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, you could watch, whatever you want to watch and hear Mitchy Slick talk gang stories and shit like that. You could watch. Anyway, I know that's coming up soon, so we'll talk about that later.
And the music, introduced by Sir Jinx, Prairie View University, A&M in Texas, and influenced by the great Eazy-E, West Coast pioneer MC8, the hardest challenge coming up.
Prairie View, that's a university, man. A black university down in Houston that my grandparents on both sides attended, you know what I mean? And my father and my uncles went to. And that later years in my life after like one of my homies got killed, my homie Bubba Cheese got killed, it was like I kinda like the homies went a little crazy and was all going to jail and shit. And I was out there in San Diego kinda by myself, still kinda under my mom's influence, but out here kinda wilding, and I needed to get the fuck out of town for a while. I was doing some shit. And I just applied to the university and I don't know how or why. I mean, I did cool in school or whatever, but they accepted me. So really, like, I was like maybe like the first homie out of all the homies that went on some academic shit, you know what I'm saying, not on no football or basketball shit. I just shot out to Prairie View A&M. And during that time, man, it was a getaway for me. I learned a lot of shit, but I for sure, like most cats as in deep as I am over here on the left side fucking up, they ain't really got to experience that experience, you know what I'm saying, being at a black university. I just came from living in a dope house and bouncing around the streets in a 63 Super Sport Impala to going off to a black university at like 20 years old, homie, and really embracing what it's like to be a fucking student in the South at a black college. That shit was dope as shit. I kind of was like an alien out there, but shit, it was dope as shit. From that, I didn't start making music till after I came from there. And just, like anybody else, man, on the West Coast, man, Eazy-E was who really struck that, that first match and got it burning around there, man. So, of course that was going to be an influence. MCA was my favorite rapper, you know what I'm saying, coming up before I started being an artist myself. MCA was the first cat that I felt like there was actually a real active gang member rapping. I mean, I liked Cube, you know what I'm saying, I liked a lot of other cats, but MCA told the story of an active, real, authentic street, Southern California street cat. And if you want to know about MCA and you too young to really know and don't do your homework, and you want a good representation of him, go grab that Music to Drive By. That's that shit, you know what I mean?
And Straight Up Menace.
Straight Up Menace for sure, but Music to Drive By was like how Tupac's Machiavelli was for me, you know what I mean? It was that one for me.
And the Triggeration Station.
This is the beginning, this is where it started.
Featuring Yuckmouth, E40, Juice, selling more than 30,000.
Yeah.
Out the trunk,
yeah.
We got that Southern Cali, West Coast rap history right there.
But that's that thing right there, put it together, basically myself from beginning to end. Shout out to a couple of homies that was there supporting the movement, the homie Big LT, the homie Romy Rome, you know what I mean? And it was homies, a lot of homies into this. I mean, not only is it featuring them cats, but it's featuring Damu, it's featuring Cricket, you know what I'm saying? A lot of San Diego, a lot of Southern Cali stars. And this right here pretty much laid the blueprint out for what San Diego hip hop is today. A lot of cats been trying to, match this, but I don't think they really understand what I put into this. Like, I sat down and went to school for maybe a couple years just being on the side of one of the originators of gangster rap, you know what I'm saying, Sir Jinx. was there, and I was learning the game from Sir Jinx, and everything I learned from him on a big level, I brought it back to that project right there, and I basically learned the game backwards. Everybody else learned it from the bottom up. Shit, I learned it from Jinx first. Like I learned the process that Cube was putting down for America's Most Wanted and using the engineers for that shit, and Jinx laced me on everything, homie, how to produce, how to make beats and shit. I even learned how to produce from Jinx. Learned how to do skits and shit. You know what I'm saying? If you know from dealing with Ice Cube, hardest skits ever is between Jinx and DJ Crazy Tunes with fucking Dub C and them. You know what I mean? But just that element to add that realism to the project, make it like a movie and shit. You know that shit Dre do, man. In between them songs, you know. Yeah, that. So Sir Jinx, man, I owe that to. That's like my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't know Sir Jinx, that Sir Jinx is basically that's who Ice Cube was with before he went to NWA, and then who he went to after he left Dr. Dre and made all them classic shits. You know what I'm saying? It happened to be Dr. Dre first cousin. You know what I mean? But that's my bro, and that's who I learned the game from. You know what I mean? So shout out to him for that.
And the Double XL Ammo series, elaborate how those went, and who do you think is the most West Coast? Elaborate on these projects.
The Handgunner series was just something I came up with because at the time it was about you know, the mixtape thing was cracking. And during that time, 50 Cent kind of introduced like smashing the game from that angle. You know what I mean, with the mixtapes, and so you know, he was trying to be competitive during the time with that. And that Handgunner series came out, and shit, really, homie, that shit was just as popular as the maybe like Trigger Racial Station. You know what I'm saying? I had like 3 volumes, like 1, 2, 3. There might have been 4 volumes of that shit, and that shit made noise. And I sold them shits just like I was selling real albums. I mean, that's part of the albums, the records I'm talking about selling out of FanMart. Them shits was selling, homie. They still sell today. 10-year-old mixtapes, you know.
And Mitchy Does It, Urban Survival Syndrome, Yellow Tape. Tell us more about these projects and your series that is similar to Yuckmouth. Mitchy's been everywhere.
Yeah, that. Now that was a project that was put together by one of the most classic and the most powerful DJs in LA, man, the homie Truly Odd. And what we did on that project, homie, is we just tried to keep it West as fuck, you know what I mean? Shout out to my big bro Truly Odd. Truly Odd, you know what I'm saying? He always been down with us, me and the Strong Arm Steady crew forever. And you know, we went and found some of the most classic shits to re-rock. I mean, we re-rock Paid Dues from Dub C. This is shit that if you ain't like active West Coast gang type, you won't even remember this shit, you know what I'm saying? We actually got like 12-inch instrumentals from, was it Silk or Slip or whoever that was that made them beats for Easy, and it was only like 2 waxes made to DJ for Easy show and shit. Truly, I got the wax from DJ, was it Smooth Silk? I think it might have been Silk, got the wax, and we actually recorded over Easy's show wax instrumentals, and I recorded over them, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, West Coast shit, yeah, they can't say that. Yeah, we did that for that shit, and if you go listen to that shit classic, still selling now. Mitchy Does It, go cop that shit. And shout out to the big homie Bistro for that dope ass photo shoot we did for that shit over there at this spot. Yeah, that. After that, Urban Survival Syndrome came, and you know, another opportunity to do some shit that a lot of cats, you know, from when I speak for me and I say a lot of cats, I don't mean rappers. I'm talking about real street, underground West Coast cats, fucking with Jinx. Then to go to fuck with DJ Muggs, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, Muggs handpicked me, Slick. I'm starting a new label. I want you to be my first artist. You know what I mean? Bam. Of course, that was a blessing and a curse, because, you know, I'm the first. That's like getting the first model of any car. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, the first year of any model of car, I fucked around and went over there to Angelus Records, and it was a beautiful experience, and we did everything that we could do as far as me learning, but just the label wasn't all the way formed all the way at the time. But I wouldn't trade none of that shit for nothing in the world. Man, fucking with DJ Muggs via the homie Chase Infinite. Shout out to Chase Infinite, managed for ASAP Rocky and shit. Now it's like my bro. He basically just built that connection with me and Muggs and the homie Skinhead Rob. A lot of influential LA cats was around while I was making that record. I mean, I was getting to just sit up in that lab, in Mug's lab with the big board and have whatever I want there. Ounces of Kush, Alchemist over here making one beat for me. DJ Khalil over here making another beat for me. Yeah, you can't say that, motherfucker. You can't say that you did that. No, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. You didn't sit with Alchemist. If you some other rapper, but you wasn't no real street nigga and sat with Alchemist while he made you slaps. You didn't do that. So that was that opportunity with Muggs. Then Muggs was like, man, you need to get on the road, Slick. You need to go tour this record and shit. And so then there came the opportunity, just quick. What's up, homie? I got the homie, Mitchy Slick. He wanna go on the road. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? Boom. Sent on the road with DJ Quick. 20 cities. Me and Quick just made our relationship for there. That's been my big bro for then. So that was Urban Survival Syndrome. That was like 07. And then after that came the Yellow Tape. That was me snatching up all the homies in the new team. Now it ain't just Mitch no more, you know. I snatched up the homies and put that out. Yellow Tape got some hitters on there. Shout out to the homie CK Marv. Who else on there, man? Reek Nut, Ice B, all the homies, man. If you look me up, follow my crew, it's the same cats, you know what I mean? We got new cats now, little younger cats, but they just one of the homies' little nephews or cousin or some shit, you know what I'm saying? It's family with us, you know what I mean?
And some of your epic travels. Mitchy's been everywhere.
Oh yeah, you know, cause Mitchy do what he do, you know what I mean? But epic travels, I call the everywhere shit, that's regular shit. But epic travels is maybe like when I leave the country, you know what I mean? Oslo, Norway, Denmark, you know what I mean? Fucking Copenhagen, Denmark, stupid, homie. But just being over there and seeing how not different that culture is over there, you know what I mean? Doing the shit we was doing over there, that was incredible shit, homie. Just being in Germany, flying around all them cities, touring in the G5 with Exhibit, you know what I'm saying? I met Exhibit from day one, so I was with Exhibit basically from the time I got in the game, you know what I mean? But from there, getting to travel with him and doing a lot of that shit, you know what I mean? That was killer for me. But my regular travels, man, Mitchy Slick been everywhere. I done lived in Atlanta, St. Louis, you know, I'm in Portland all the time. You should go check out my series, bro, you know what I'm saying? Go to YouTube. He's everywhere, Mitchy Slick, you know what I'm saying? I get around, man, you know?
It was like a movie.
Yeah. 37 episodes.
Yep. You got more coming up?
Hell yeah. I got like 5 done already. Just been holding back on them. That fucking Instagram shit kind of fucked it up, you know what I mean? And then they can say what they want, but nobody wasn't doing that shit. Now everybody got this, they here and they there. And so it kind of killed, you know what I mean, my enthusiasm for doing it. But I originally started doing it because somebody made a post online in my town talking about whose label is this and that in San Diego. And San Diego cats don't really get out too much, you know what I'm saying? They kind of be focused on what they own, you know what I mean? So I just had to show them, like, y'all really got me fucked up if y'all think any of y'all's little labels is doing this shit. Okay, matter of fact, here, let me show y'all. Turn the cameras on and just start showing everybody what I do and where I'm at and who I deal with and who I'm around, you know what I mean? So that they can cut that shit out, you know what I mean? Yeah, that respect the hustle.
And Strong Arm Steady, elaborate on the discography and the best moments on tour together, and you were with Souls of Mischief.
Yeah, Souls of Mischief. There's a homie. Shout out to all the homies. Opio, you know what I'm saying? Tajay, all the homies. A+, I love them cats, you know what I mean? We hit the road, homie. Hit about 25 cities with them, homie, and just built a brotherhood amongst them cats. And it's like we went on that tour. Shit, since then, man, it was like my bros. So I spent a lot of time in the Bay fucking with them or whatever. But Strong Arm Steady is a group that was formed with me, Feel the Agony, Crime Down, and Exhibit. Exhibit was getting into his movies and shit, man, so it was kind of like a conflict, you know what I mean, between us moving and getting around. And I gave Exhibit his blessings to go get his paper, and me and the homies just kept it alive, you know what I'm saying? It's a group, homie. 2 cats from LA, 1 cat from San Diego, and it's a crazy blend of all 3 different types of West Coast hip hop. You got the rapper and Crime Down. You got the gangster cat with Mitchy Slick, and then you got the lyrical you know what I'm saying, backpack type of artists would feel the agony, but at the same time, we all the same kind of cats for the most part, and we was trying to make that shit mesh. And during the time when we came together, I think it was just a fucked up time because we murdered with the mixtape games, the Devo series, the Purple Pack, Yellow Pack, Honey Pack, all the mixtapes Feel the Agony put out. We was killing the game with the mixtape shit, but it was crazy corporate wise because nobody was really trying to fuck with the West Coast. Like right after like basically from the time we wasn't out then, but from the time Tupac died to fucking Game, you know, it wasn't no new acts getting on. Exhibit might have went platinum during that time, but that was through the Drake tree. You know what I mean? We was smashing, homie, but it was just a bad time for the West Coast. Nobody was on, so we were just struggling. Now it would have been nothing for Strong Arm Steady to glow and be a global ass group. But during this period of time, it was just, I mean, just think, from 2002 to 2010. That's 10 years of basically nothing from the West Coast. You know what I mean? That's all ATL period right there, down south period. You know what I mean? And we was trying to bring a different edge to the shit. You know what I mean? With the different whatever. And West Coast wasn't really getting it at the time. I was straight khakis and lowriders and shit era, and we come in with some real different type of hip hop, still on the street era. And as time evolved and the people evolved, and now TDE-ish, Strong Arm Steady looking-ish, we love it. Those are our little brothers. But basically, that's how we was trying to be received in. But it wasn't no real corporate push behind it. In TDE, that they a child of Strong Arm Steady. For sure. We love them little cats. You know what I mean? If you can see shit, Mitchy J-Rock. You know what I mean? Kendrick Field. Schoolboy Crondine. You know what I mean? And we happy for that. You know what I'm saying? We love that. We embrace that. As a matter of fact, the last album that Strong Arm Steady did, we got an album out called Stereotype. You know what I mean? That we did with the homie Static Selector. And we got a cut on there with Black Hippie. And it just shows it's just cohesive as fuck, you know what I mean? Yeah, that. Strong Arm Steady. Shout out to TE, all the homies. Shout out to the homie Doodog, big homie Doodog. Come fuck with me, homie. You know what I'm saying? Whenever, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick get tired of some shit like that, man, or whatever the fuck, I got a little ocean sitting right here. Whenever, whoever, what shit, we ready to take up the slack. Yeah, that. You know what I'm saying? We all behind the West Coast movement right now, the new young cats.
And one of your best moments with Strong Arm Steady together?
Best moment with Strong Arm Steady probably would be during the time we was signed to Blacksmith with Talib Kweli. Just given the opportunity to do the bigger things that I did with Strong Arm Steady. You know, out the country traveling, walking out for Rock the Bell solo, singing Mitchy Slick in front of 50,000. Just times when I could say I did that and y'all didn't do that. You know what I mean? That type of shit. You know what I mean?
And tell us about the police harassment and the gang injunction you guys have out there.
Well,
what's going on with all that?
San Diego was really fucked up for me, homie. I don't even really spend a lot of time in San Diego no more, just for the simple fact that town ain't really ready for no rappers or no type of celebrities or no shit like that, outside of being an athlete maybe or whatever. And in San Diego, you know, I'm from a neighborhood that's kind of like marked as like the hottest or the number one threat towards the police and shit. So they just give me a hell of a hard time. Been some crazy shit happened in my neighborhood. Police officer got killed in front of my grandmother's house, you know what I'm saying, back many years ago and shit, and they ain't really let that shit go. And I'm a direct descendant of those individuals that was involved in that shit. And it's a crazy long running case in my city, but a police officer got murdered on my street. 5 older cats from my neighborhood went to jail for it. It was some foul play on the evidence, and my homies really got out 12 years later, and they're really free right now walking around, and you know they don't like that. And here I am rapping about these guys and talking about this shit, and not mocking, making a mockery of it, but just actually being a journalist like you, bro, telling what happens in my neighborhood. And San Diego being the type of city that it is and how it makes its money on a corporate level, they try to cast a little shield around our part of San Diego that's active as fuck on some ghetto shit, on some hood shit, and I'm the big mouth that talks about the shit that the powers that be don't even want in their town. You know what I mean? And I ain't just no activist or nothing about it, but shit, I'm part of hip hop culture. I'm part of the street part of hip hop, where you talk about what happens in the streets and where you from and experiencing all that shit. And as little as they want it to be known, you know what I mean, that shit really goes on in San Diego, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta go off the water, go get away from the coastline, go inbound, and you'll see the rats and the roaches, you know?
And you've done so many collabs.
Yeah.
Some of your best studio sessions you've had?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, hey cats, I'm finna say some shit y'all ain't never did before, right? I know you might get your record sales, you be on TV, all that shit, whatever, cool. But like sitting down in New York with P Rock, going through trash bags this big on the floor, old DATs. Cause P Rock, you know, his shit is vintage. It's timeless shit. So he just busting out DATs from 5-6 years ago, and he picking through shit and beats, slapping me out for like 7 hours while I get to pick what I want from Pete Rock. You never did that. He don't even know you. And then me saying, yeah, I want that one. I like that one. And then recording on that one. And then me being able to know that my ear is a killer ear, because then like Kanye and Jigga get the same beat and we don't get to use the beat out of all them bags of beats. I don't know what Kanye called it, but it was on Kanye a couple albums back with Jigga, and ours is a Dozen Roses. Go look that up. Strong Arm Steady, Dozen Roses. Murdered that shit. But you know, Pete, you know, we're gonna let him get his check. And a lot of times producers, you know, throw beats out to the same artists and shit, whatever. But just sitting there with Pete Rock being able to just, you know what I mean, go through the shit and hear legends slap me down, and then High Tech coming around the next day and slapping me down. Just being in New York, you know what I'm saying? Just being somewhere I'm not used to being. Another session, let me see. In them days, man, working on Urban Survival Syndrome, just being in there with Alchemist and Khalil and DJ Muggs. I mean, what other street, West Coast, Cortez wearing West Coast artists really could say they was sitting in the studio in the middle of DJ Muggs, DJ Khalil, Alchemist, while they Taylor making shit for him. He's over there thinking, he's like, let me see. He's scratching his head right now. Can we even say, no disrespect, Uncle Snoop, but have Uncle Snoop even did that? I don't know. And I had to go there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that. Uncle Snoop probably did do that though. Uncle Snoop did all the shit. But I know the rest of you motherfuckers ain't did that shit.
And living in Atlanta to pursue the game, Syndicate Mob Stars, Feet Match the Paint with DJ Fresh and Strong Arm Robbery DVD.
Bam. You took us back for it. ATL, me and all the homies went to ATL like when we was kids, 98 or something like that. Everybody went to jail down there trying to get it up. You know what we do when we go out of town and shit. But anyways, yeah, man, just being down there in Atlanta, learning the South and seeing that music, seeing how that shit worked was crazy, man. I got to see like the street out the trunk gang firsthand being down there in Atlanta. I was down there at Young Cat when Master P and them was even rocking in the South, and just seeing how they was coming through in Atlanta. Like, damn, why they got the ice cream truck, but it ain't ice cream. It's like CD truck. They got the CD ice cream looking truck. Ghetto ass with the promo shit all over the ice cream truck. They got the window cut out. They serving CDs and mixtapes like out the fucking truck like an ice cream truck. Yeah, that's some down south shit. We never had that. Can you believe that, homie? Homie, Master P, down south, homie, they had the ice cream truck with the hella slaps, music on the truck. Not even no clean truck or no dope ass, no, like some ice cream truck shit with the humps, posters all over that motherfucker, big screen TV playing the videos, tear your bread off, they promote your shit, ride through the concert, selling your shit out the truck, nigga. Sick as fuck. You know what I'm
What
saying?
about Drew Down and Yuck Mouth?
Killer.
The real ice cream man.
Check it out, Killer. Yeah, that. Yuck Mouth, my bro, homie. Drew Down too. Real homies, you know what I'm saying? I seen Drew Down on lockdown and shit recently. I was like, damn, the homie on lockdown, but that's a real motherfucker. Drew Down a real motherfucker, man. The Bay, I love the Bay, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Bay homies and shit. Cynic of my stars is the homies. Ice B and Reek Nut, they're my homies, you know what I'm saying? Represent the essence of that San Diego Lincoln Park shit from my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? I back them all the way, childhood homies, and they got dope albums coming out. They got a new album coming out called Green Flags and Gucci Bags coming out, and we all featured on the record. And then just recently, homie, like in last year, June, I dropped Feet Master Paint. For y'all that don't know, DJ Fresh, that's the cat that's probably responsible for pretty much 50% of the more streeter Bay music that's coming out up there in the Bay. I mean, you know, the first Sleepy D, D-Lo records, fucking Yuck Mouth, you know what I'm saying? Not the first Yuck Mouth records, but he got full albums. He got a series called Tonight Show, Yuck Mouth, Jacka. He worked with Mess. He worked with
Grouch and Eli.
Grouch and Eli. He's on the road with Grouch and Eli right now. He's a DJ actually.
Shouts to DJ
He's not only
Fresh.
my DJ. You need to get the fuck back here. You're supposed to be with me now. You got V8 DJ and shit, dude. He's dope as shit, but DJ Fresh, homie, is my fucking DJ, and my homie Eli and Grouch done stole him from me. I love the fuck out them too, though. Just in case you don't know, get a bar. What Keki Rocket, Cortez Rocket, motherfucker, you know that actually really toured with the Living Legends, homie. My first tour I ever went on was with the Living Legends. So imagine Mitchy Living Legends coming on after my ass. And I'm over there gangbanging like a motherfucker. And then after me come, you know, the homies, Living Legends. Murs, shout out to Murs. Murs is actually on Feet Master Paint too. Got a dope ass song called Put On The Show. Hard as fuck, but I love all them cats, homie, you know what I mean?
Now he's on Strange Music.
Yeah, the homies.
Yeah.
All homies. Shout out to Tech 9, that's my homie too. So whoop, yeah that. And I've been there, Mitchy's every homie, we can go coast to coast with Mitchy. My stats might not reflect it, but my hood shit reflects it, bruh. You know what I mean? Yeah, that. What other Cortez Rocket motherfucker do you know got slaps with Jay Dilla? You really don't. You don't really know nobody. So come on. Pete Rock, High Tech, Jay Dilla, DJ Khalil. Stop it. Hey, I love you, Yuck, but you gotta get with Khalil, Pete Rock, High Tech, Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that. You know Yuck, the hardest from the Bay though.
And brides, Bentleys, Porsches, BMWs, Lacs, Impalas.
Right.
Low riding and breadwinning. Speak on the luxuries that you've had in your life.
Shit, I'm from the wrong kind, so the wrong kind do it major. Shout out to GE Customs, that's my bro, Gangsta E from San Diego. Go look up Gangsta E. Go look us up. That ain't really been nothing in our neighborhood. We always did that. The homies in my neighborhood, we always did that. But yeah, you know, I do my 1-2. I got a couple. I done had a couple toys throughout the shit, but that's kind of what I've been known for. Now I've been focusing on more things now. You know what I'm saying? More like shit that's gonna feed my daughter. But you know, I've been known to fuck off on a black convertible GT coupe on 24-inch Foggiatos from time to time. Yeah, that. Go look me up. It ain't a mystery. You just go on YouTube. You'll see Slick coming through, top down clowning. But I tell you the truth, all that European shit is cool, but really I like old school American shit, homie.
Lowriders?
That too, but I've been on my muscle car shit though.
Oh, okay.
I've been on my muscle car shit like heavy right now. I have way more fun fucking with a muscle car right now than like a new Porsche or something. I love all the European shit, but I did all that shit. I like Chevelles, old Chevelles, fucking Camaros. I want me a Super Sport 69 Camaro right now. That's what I really want right now. That's what I'm after.
I'm working with Messy Marv.
Right. Messy Marv, me and Messy Marv swapped fan bases back in 07. Did a good thing for us both. I gave Messy San Diego. He gave me the Bay, you know what I mean? Shout out to Messy Marv.
And then Hyro Day.
Hyro Day was dope as shit. Because, you know, Hyro Day is a Bay thing, but it's getting to be bigger now. But man, that shit is crazy. I think 100,000 motherfuckers came out to support the Hieroglyphic Day this year. Me and Strong Arm Shetty went up there and rocked. Next year, I'm probably gonna be up to do a solo set next year and shit. But yeah, Hyro Day, man, that was crazy. Hyro Day, y'all gotta come anywhere in the country. If you love hip hop, come out. It's about 4 or 5 stages out there in the middle of Oakland all day long. They just, have you been?
No.
You been? Stupid. You gotta go to Hyrule Days. Kick back as fuck, no
September.
drama, sick as fuck. Yeah, 100,000, dude, and it just start blowing the fuck up, homie. Oakland.
Music videos, World's Freshest, Do What I Can Do, Crack in a Jar, You In featuring V8,
Yep.
All Star with Sean Dees and Woodgrain,
Yeah.
Young and Dumb.
Yeah, Young and Dumb. Let me tell you how Young and Dumb came together. I had a little little relative of mine going to Alabama State University. Shit, as a matter of fact, I was helped paying that tuition and shit. So he came back and he's like, man, I know how to shoot videos and do media shit. I was like, bullshit. He's like, yeah, I'm good. So I had this little ass, remember when the little ass fucking little HD cameras, them little small HD cameras with the USB thing came out? This fool was with me one day and he just was shooting some shit, homie. That's how we shot Young and Dumb video. I wasn't even paying no attention. And my little Reddy put it together and came back and showed me what he had taped just from that day and him being with me. I said, oh, we gotta drop this shit, man. It's dope. But yeah, Do What I Could Do. That's off that World's Freshest shit. Shout out to the homie James Wade. Shot a dope ass few videos for me and Strong Arm Steady. Clacker Get Clacked On. Go check that out. But yeah, he came and sat with me one day, and me and him and Woodgrain just knocked down Do What I Could Do. Do What I Could Do is like a signature Mitchy Slick song. It's one of those songs that kind of describes what Mitch is about, you know what I mean? Talks about those things that a lot of cats don't talk about in their records, you know what I'm saying? It's a song about, you know, like being from a neighborhood or being that gang shit. It's a lot of bullshit about the gang shit. Kids, you don't want to be a blood, believe me. But, you know, not only do you got responsibilities when y'all young and coming up, but the ones that are successful, a lot of the homies feel like, you know, you obligated just because you maybe look successful to provide and do shit for the homies. And there'd be a lot of homies in jail and shit. And once they in jail, they need shit, you know what I'm saying? And when you like the rapper from the hood, you know, a lot of motherfuckers always think you got it or it's on you or they get a pass to not support or look out for the homies because they figure you in a position to do it or some shit. That's what Do What I Could Do is about. Go get that Feet Master Paint album produced by my bro DJ Fresh. We sat down for 2 years and knocked that album out together. No, we recorded at my house, we recorded together. DJ Fresh is way more than just my DJ or producer. DJ Fresh is like my brother. DJ Fresh slept at my home with my father and, you know what I'm saying, at my grandmama's house, and that's my homeboy. He spent time in San Diego and all that shit with me, you know what I mean? So that's what that is, you know what I mean? That's like my brother.
And then Won't Stop, The Whole 9.2, and Call of Duty Southeast.
Won't Stop is an album that I put together just for the homies. I ain't gonna lie, I basically put that record together for the homies in jail, the topics and all that shit, because I got a big market in jail. I sell a lot of records behind the walls, because that's where a lot of the homies are, you know what I mean? A lot of people that appreciate what I do, they behind the walls, it's real shit, you know what I mean? So I made a record for them that's dedicated to all my homies locked down. Shout out to the homeboy Tiny Mad, CK Ball, Big Haney, my homie Big Haney, he'll be out soon. We looking for him to be out. He been down 32 years, homie. My big homie, one of the originators of my neighborhood. Shout out to the homie Cripple Mike, just got out from doing 18 right now. My big bros, they love me, you know what I'm saying? And shit, man, shout out to all the homies, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's Won't Stop. Got the homie Menace on there. Got the homie V8 on there. And then coming to the new era like that, I did Feet Master Paint, Won't Stop, all last year. Solos. Then with the introduction of the young kind, that's the new generation. I got a new crew bringing it up, you know what I'm saying, bringing up the rear but coming to the front. That's To Die For, Also Ocean, a little homegirl named Juju, Skywalker, and then we got my little Mitchy Slick. But little Mitchy Slick just passed away. He just got killed maybe like 3 months ago. Little 19-year-old little homie, like damn near like my baby bro, you know what I'm saying? Misfortunate situation, just being in that shit in San Diego, you know what I mean? But from there, man, we just trying to build and keep the wrong kind of legacy going. And so Trigger Racial Station was the first shit, and here's the most recent shit right here that's featuring me, but it's starring like one of the hardest little MCs in the game right now. I put him up against whoever the fuck, you know what I mean? And for sure on the West Coast, you know what I mean? Also, Ocean, get a bar, look him up. I mean, I ain't gonna keep bragging and talking about him. Listen to this shit. We on here going back and forth. He toned this shit down a little bit to fuck with Slick or whatever the fuck. 10 and 11, Machiavelli is still juking. Solo shit's on him. You gotta hear that shit, homie.
And one of your largest accomplishments that you've done yet as the OG Mitchy Slick.
I think it was that day I put those velvet Louis Vuitton shoes on and walked out on that stage on the Queen Latifah show with Gladys Knight. I think that was the day. That probably was one of the biggest things I'd say, as far as just what it meant. You know, maybe not the dollar amount or whatever, but just what that meant for me just to be able to say, you didn't do that. You never did that. You never did that. You never did that. You never walked on stage with Queen Latifah. She was like, you the shit, nigga. You know, you never got that. You didn't. You know what I'm saying? Gladys Knight never moved out the way for you to walk on stage in front of her and you just to go out there and do your thing in a black tux with your suede Louis Vuitton loafers on, man.
And one of your best gangster rap memories that you've had yet.
Gangster rap memories? Let me see. Gangster rap memories. It's a lot of them. But for San Diego, we got a big picnic, you know what I mean, called, it call it the OG picnic. And it's in Ocean's neighborhood, actually, Ocean View Park. That's where Ocean name come from, Ocean View. But, you know, just being able to look at the documentation of me actually being there and coming out to that hood day and rapping and just standing on a bench, singing my songs with the whole damn near hood out there, and then giving out backpacks to the kids and shit that day. And you know, no matter what they could think I've done now, you gotta know if I did that, where my heart is, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of them type of things, you know what I'm saying? That, and then maybe just, you know what I'm saying, representing for the side of the tracks that I'm on. I'm on the red side of the tracks, you know what I mean? So just represent probably with the homie Menace on and being on a big platform doing the Blood Niggas with Lil Wayne and shit, you know what I mean? And we really got to stand out there. Just being able to represent and have all my homies with me on the Blood Niggas video shoot. If you go look at that shit, them is real homies. Like, that ain't no facade. Them is my real homies. Some of them homies on that picture ain't never even coming home again. I mean, on that shoot with me, them is cats that like really don't know shit about the rap game. But for one day, I got to bring my homies from my hood and bring them to be on that, you know what I'm saying, on that platform with Weezy, and them actually get to see us. We left the hood that day to do that shit, and then went back to the hood after that, you know what I'm saying, just to let the homies see, and then for them to actually look and see that shit be seen by millions of people, you know what I'm saying, that was dope.
And the best tour and largest crowd you've ever rocked.
Oh yeah, the Rock the Bell shits. The Rock the Bell shits. Walking out in front of 25,000 every day for a month. Come on, bruh. And then Kweli saying, Slick, you go by yourself. 50,000. Giant Stadium. 30, 40,000 Anaheim. That probably ain't shit to like fucking, you know, Kanye and Jay-Z. But to a West Coast underground cat, that's some big shit, man. You know?
And your best hip hop memory that you've been part of or contributed to?
Best hip hop moment that I've contributed to. I did a lot of shit, you know what I mean? I wish I could say the day I won a Grammy or something, I ain't got to do that shit, you know what I mean? And them is the type of things at this point in my career that I would like to say, you know what I mean? But I fuck with everybody, you know, so I fuck with all the big cats and shit. But I ain't got to do the shit I really want to do yet, you know what I mean? I still haven't had a national hit. A hit that, you know, the hit that's being played in the club on the West Coast and being played down south at the same time on the Saturday night. I haven't had a song like that yet. So once that happens, I'll probably have a lot more stuff. story to tell about my shit. But I also would say that I haven't had the easiest or the best road to get to where I've been either. I've had to deal with every fucking obstacle. I've basically had no management other than myself since my real manager passed away. That's who got me all the way to the point to where, like, you know, I was really getting my most of my visibility. Rest in peace, my homie Jermaine Salmon, Janky, you know what I mean? With him being gone, a lot of things changed for me, you know what I mean? But shit, we still got opportunity. I don't think I've seen my best days. I want to see my young cats get theirs all the way up. That's gonna be it for me, you know what I mean? Being able to kick my feet up, you know what I'm saying? Watch them smash for the wrong kind.
And you have anything to say to your fans around the world?
Hey, listen, man, do your homework on Mitchy Slick, man, and understand what makes me special, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know me, all my fans, shit, I rap better now than I did back when y'all first started liking me, so, you know, just check me out. And check out my young homies. Check out my homie VA. Check out Rigna. Check out Oso Ocean, the Young Kind. Just Google Young Kind. You know what I mean? Google Wrong Kind. You know what I mean? That's it, homie. And I'm the same Slick no matter what. Ain't nothing changed. And then another thing is just do me a favor. And if you ever hear something about me that don't sound official, do your homework. Just don't believe what somebody tell you or no shit like that. Do your homework on Slick, because I'm a real motherfucker. You know what I mean?
And do you have anything to say to our legendary interview?
Hey, man, just, you know, shout out to the archivist, you know what I'm saying? It's a real thing, homie, to be able to reach out into these other areas, other countries and shit, man. I just want to thank you, you know what I'm saying, for giving me an opportunity to be seen by your fan base. I know you popping, man. You know, I know you got millions of viewers, man. So, you know, I just want to be thankful and let you know I'm blessed. You know what I mean? Yeah, that.
Yeah, that all day.
Yeah, that.
And shouts to Mitchy Slick and the whole camp. And this is the archivist, and you already know the name, y'all.
Clack, 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 clack. Yeah, that.